Imagine walking into work one day and your boss tells you they've caught you stealing from the company. Your heart drops. You know you didn't do it, but all the evidence says you did. And then, as you're sitting there, sweating, wondering if your career is over, you catch a glimpse of someone in the hallway, smiling. That was the day I learned my sweet, talkative coworker was secretly trying to destroy me. But in the end, she ate her own karma, with a side of Wendy's. If you've ever wished you could serve justice to someone who tried to ruin your life, hit that like button. Subscribe if you love stories where karma comes for the guilty, and stick around, because this revenge is as satisfying as a free lunch. Well, technically not free. I was working as a manager in a mid-sized business during the lockdowns of 2021. Our office was quiet, tense, and honestly, a little lonely. Most of the team was remote, but I was one of the few still coming in a few times a week to keep operations running. Then, she joined the team. Let's call her Evil. Evil was in her mid-20s, fresh out of college, and had that kind of personality where she could talk for hours about all the projects she was totally crushing. But if you ever actually asked to see results, she had nothing. Clients would complain that she wasn't returning calls or emails, and whenever I confronted her, she had an endless carousel of excuses. Oh, the client's being unreasonable. I sent the email, must have gone to spam. I'm just so swamped you wouldn't believe it. Always someone else's fault, never hers.
One day, after a particularly messy client complaint, I pulled her aside. I didn't yell, I didn't threaten, I just said, "Listen, I need you to be honest with me. If you're falling behind, I can help you. But if every time I ask you say, 'Yup, got it,' and then things explode later, we've got a problem." I even set up short Monday check-ins, 10 minutes max, so I could help her stay on track. She nodded, smiled, and hated me from that day on. What I didn't know was that she wasn't just annoyed, she was plotting my downfall. Part of my role involved using a company purchasing card for small expenses. One random Thursday, accounting calls me. "Hey, we're seeing some unusual charges on the card you use." They start listing them off. A Photoshop subscription, Uber Eats orders, HBO Max. My stomach drops. I hadn't used the card for any of that. The next Monday, I get called into the director's office. He looks serious. On his desk is a small stack of papers, printouts of every suspicious transaction. And then he says the words that make my skin crawl. "These accounts are all in your name, even the emails. Care to explain?" I'm sweating. My mouth is dry. I feel like I've been punched. I stammer, I swear I didn't do this. I would never. Is it possible my info got hacked? But in the back of my mind, panic sets in. What if my wife accidentally used the card? What if I clicked the wrong button? When I finally walk out, miraculously still employed, guess who's waiting at my office door? Evil, grinning. "Oh, morning check-in, right? Or will you even be here tomorrow?" I blink. Yeah, why wouldn't I?" She sips her tea and says, "Oh, no reason," then turns and walks away. That was the moment my gut screamed, something's off. I spent the next few hours like a detective in a crime drama. I called Adobe, I called Uber Eats, I dug into every suspicious charge. And then, the first crack in her plan. The Uber Eats guy gives me the delivery address. It's not mine. It's right around the corner from Evil's apartment block. I drop a pin on Google Maps. My heart is pounding. This wasn't some hacker on the dark web. This was personal. I wait for Evil to leave for the day. Then I go to IT. I need access to her work laptop right now. We log in. We check her saved accounts, and there it is, a fake email she made to frame me. My name on all the stolen subscriptions, auto-saved passwords on the company device. She'd been stealing from the company and framing me for it, hoping I'd get fired. The rage I felt, it was ice cold. But it also came with a deep, twisted sense of relief. I had her. I called the boss that night with IT as my witness. The next morning, the boss calls her into his office. She goes in smiling. She comes out sobbing. Her cheeks are red, mascara streaked, clutching a little cardboard box with her things. She walks past me, and I'm standing in the hallway sipping tea. Cold tea, but it had never tasted sweeter. Later that night, I sent one last farewell gift to her address. A Wendy's order on my personal card. A little taste of the fast food she tried to destroy my career for. Sometimes karma doesn't just knock, it rings the doorbell and hands you a bag of spicy nuggets. She lost her job, my boss apologized, and I learned. Sometimes the sweetest revenge is just letting someone eat the consequences of their own choices. If this story gave you chills, or maybe made you hungry, smash that like button. Drop a comment. What's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen play out? And of course, subscribe for more true stories where karma always gets the last bite.